Alright, so I guess there's a new JJK manga, and you know, fucking Gege is writing like the winners do! So this is like really cool. This is fucking hype, because this is a sequel to the original series, and it takes place in 2086. 68 years after the Culling Games. So when this opens up, we're seeing the grandchildren of Yuta and Maki. And it's like, it's not funny, but within the first 2 pages, like Maki and Yuta are dead. They die. They die of old age. And it's kind of cool that Yuta essentially just holds out for Maki to die, and then he's like, peace. And this is giving me weird, like, PTSD, because in the, like, I don't know what the correct term in, like, Japanese culture is, but in, like, the obituary photo that they have at, like, Japanese funerals, you can see that Yuta still has the scars on his forehead, and then I immediately was like, oh my god, he's coming back! It's fucking Kenjaku. Essentially, I'm forgetting the last, like, 20 chapters of Jujitsu Kaisen. So anyways, we're picking up with Yuta and Maki's grandchildren, Yuka and Suguri, 16 and 17 respectively. And so the big twist to start off this series is not that it's 68 years after the Culling Games, it's that there's fucking aliens hovering above Earth. So we get a little bit of exposition that these aliens are called the Sumerians, and there's 50,000 of them roughly on their mothership, and they're seeking sanctuary as refugees. And right off the bat, I'm just gonna say it, my fraud alerts are going off here, because they waited for everybody to fucking die to show up. So we get a little bit of these aliens talking to each other, and we essentially explain to that America is still considered quote-unquote the powerhouse of Earth, but yet all the Jujitsu sorcerers are still residing in Japan. So Tengen's barrier still has an effect on the world hundreds of years essentially after he erected it. So a little bit of a time skip, and we cut to Yuka and Suguri. I'm saying his name wrong. I'll figure it out eventually. So we cut to them, and they are full-fledged Jujitsu high sorcerers at this point. And then guess what? They're getting put on a mission with one of the aliens, and his grand disguise is a band-aid over his third eye. So he snuck into the Jujitsu Society, and then snuck into Jujitsu High, and then now his cover-up is that, oh, I'm from another country. More fraud allegations. Where the fuck are the higher-ups? Like, how do they let this slide? Because one, it's already super rare to become a Jujitsu sorcerer, and then it's even more rare to be born outside of the country and become a Jujitsu sorcerer. Like, we see Miguel, and he was born in Africa, and his main curse tool took them, like, 20 years of just feeding in curse injury to make it. And I think there was, like, 2 other people that I don't bother to remember. So, like, who's letting this shit slide? So anyways, the brother and sister are put on a mission to, I can't even really, like, say this word anywhere, but to essentially stop somebody from taking sorcerers against their will, then selling them. And it's mainly people underage. But anyway, these rogue sorcerers, or cursed users, is kind of what they distinguish between them, are taking these people and selling them, all because of back in the original series, Kenjaku revealed to the American government that you can essentially turn sorcerers into a battery. Speaking on that real quick, it seems like this series is probably going to cover a lot of the stuff that people claim that Gege missed, and I'm happy about that, because I was really pissed when fucking the American government sent people to abduct Japanese citizens, and then it was never talked about again. So yeah, this dude's stealing these small Japanese people and selling them for profit. And because he's a sorcerer, the local PD can't really help, so that's where they step in, is to kind of crack down on his whole operation. So they eventually find out that this curse user has a very interesting barrier technique which compels people to go in a specific way, like a specific set of directions that lead you to where you are gonna be abducted. And then, so boom, they see this happen in real time, and Tsurugi is like, alright, well, I'm gonna go and get abducted, essentially, and put a stop to this. And then when he gets snatched up by these, like, really cool, like, hands that come out of the shadows, it fucking doesn't take with the curse technique specifically avoids his curse tool. So this is interesting because they don't say specifically that Suguri has a heavenly restriction, but his sister Yuka does say, like, hey, that's why he uses this curse tools, because he doesn't have cursed energy. So what I'm kind of assuming is that he had what Maki had originally to start, where he didn't have full access to either or heavily restriction or curse energy. And I think that, you know what, I'll save it for the end. So yeah, he gets abducted and he starts talking to the guy that abducted him. And this is where we get the exposition that sorcerers, or at least some of them, know that there are aliens. And Suguri kind of is like, hey, you're a fucking tinfoil hat loser. And then he gets kicked in the face. We also get told that the Inspector General, I guess, declared this the same level of incident as what happened in Shibuya 68 years ago. And so, yeah, obviously, this is going to lead to a war. You can't really show an alien ship above Earth and have it not lead to some sort of conflict. And then we get into this part, which I definitely am going to have to, like, blur out. And then we get to see Suguri get slapped around some more. Then we cut back to Yuka and Maru, and essentially the only way that they're able to find him is through Maru's technique. Even though he's not supposed to be helping, apparently, from the higher-ups, like chain of command, he's not supposed to help. And so his curse technique is to find somebody who is your equal, who has, like, equal power level of you. So it's kind of like it is trying to find balance within the sorcery world. I don't know, that's... Obviously, this is going to be something so, like, crazy in the end. Like, it's too, like, broad for it not to be insane. And then, so once they find Suguri, they kind of just teleport in, like, oh. And then, immediately, Yuka's on fucking demon time. She's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm about to beat this dude's ass. And so she starts fighting her brother. Which, like, it's cool because we get this, like, sibling rivalry. But, like, she immediately just starts putting a belt of ass on him, essentially. And he's kind of just, like, countering everything. And so, obviously, Suguri wins because Yuka's a woman in a shonen manga. Then we get to see what's going on with Suguri's sword. And from the looks of it, I'm just going to headcanon it and say that this is, like, a Zenin relic. Because it says that the sparks that are created from the scabbard and the sword, like, are infused back into the sword, and it's this cool, like, fire effect. And I know their, like, great grandfather had some, like, fire technique and he was using katana, so hopefully that's just, like, a cool curse technique for the Zenins. So anyways, the chapter ends with Maru, like, his band-aid falls off his head and he does something to knock the cursed user out. I don't know, but it's, like, involving his third eye. And the brother and sister pair, like, notice, they're like, oh, you're an alien, which is, like, I don't know, like, the guy was just talking about there being aliens before, so I guess that's cool. But yeah, that's the end. That's 55 pages there, and I thought it was really cool. I think that he's gonna dive into a lot of, like, the stuff that he, like, missed, and maybe this is him trying to clean up his work here, which is, like, you know, that's cool. I'll enjoy it. Whatever JKK stuff comes out, I'm gonna probably enjoy it. I'm kind of a fanboy. But my little theory here that I had in the beginning is that, I don't know if it works like this, but twins are obviously a curse in the Jujitsu Society. So with them being a year apart, what if there's, like, some dumb rule where, like, they're technically not that far apart in age? Whereas if Yuka is 16 and Maru is 17, what if it's, like, he's only, like, a day ahead or something? And so, like, he was born first, and maybe it, like, went past, like, midnight or something, and, like, so Suguri's, like, 17, but he's only older by an hour, and then the next day, like, say, like, midnight passed, and then Yuka's born, and so she's 16, so he is, like, only an hour older than her. But if, like, when he turned 17, she was still 16, and then the hour passed, and then they were both 17, or something like that. Something dumb like that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. Before we leave, Yuji's still alive. I guarantee old man Yuji is still alive. But yeah, that's it. If you guys enjoy content like this, if you guys want more reviews, this is kind of like my first time doing a review. But I love Gege. I love all the stuff that they do. So hopefully, this will become a mainstay on the channel. Yeah, bye!